grinding. And we're grinding with 42. So here's that guy from earlier. It looks like he was sucking. He's a good sized guy. He's got a lot of leg. I'm not sure where he gets that from. Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, we are starting out today. We're heading down to the shop. So we're just under a week past our big snowstorm, but we still haven't plowed out the shop because honestly we haven't needed to go in there. But we are today. Woo, a little bumpy. So I'm gonna start out, we're gonna plow that out. I need to plow a path behind Mom and Dad's house. And then we need to decide, are we gonna oil up the 29 or are we gonna fire up the 42? And one of those two is gonna grind corn today. Okay, the sun being outside was extremely short-lived, which really sucked because it felt really good. Back at the farm, obviously, scoping everything out. North of the border is gonna need more bedding tonight. Mom, you could have done a little better job cleaning off the face. So 431 did have her calf last night. I don't know if I've ever mentioned about 431, but she is hetero black. How do I know she's hetero black? Because we got a red calf. Right, Mom? Yeah, she's at least not a total biatch. I think she's just a good mom. Obviously, I haven't gone in the pen with her, but I'm not going to push my luck because I also know her pedigree. So, but it does look like this calf is pretty darn nice. It is a heifer. She was doing circles and circles and circles and just was all tail twitch. No water bag yet, nothing. So Bethany and I were like, okay, let's run into town quick. We got to pick up some stuff from Menards and, you know, and we'll just pick up some subs or whatever for dinner instead of getting fish or whatever. But so that's what we ended up doing while we're at Menards, and all of a sudden, like, oh, crap. Freaking calf's head's, like, already out, I think. Like, I couldn't tell because of the cameras, which I've done a little research on, by the way. So we're like, okay, well, let's hurry up and we'll head back. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom, things completely out, heads up. And then I think she was kind of like, okay, am I done? And then she popped up and went right to work. So she seems like she's doing a pretty decent job. For whatever reason, she just didn't clean the head off very well. The body's nice and clean. The head, not so much. And this little guy, what are you doing, buddy? What is going on here? You stuck? Huh? You stuck? Well, we'll unstuck you. For whatever reason, he laid down, like, basically underneath the gate, which there's really nice, fresh straw right here, but the dum-dum could have laid up against the wall, which is where there is also decent straw. 313 from yesterday. This guy, right there, doing really, really well. I can tell he was sucking. I don't even have to look at the teats because he's got some nice, classic, bright yellow calf poop. So can definitely tell he's gotten a couple meals already. And I did see him sucking yesterday, so it's not like I didn't see him suck. I saw him yesterday. All right, we got our corn we were down at the shop before this and we plugged in the 42. We're gonna give the 42 a try. Obviously a little different tractor. We're used to grinding with the 29. But we're just gonna do a couple little things. We're gonna take a quick lunch and then grind this afternoon. So one thing we did realize is that we're gonna have to use the bucking plate to get the grinder out and back in. Getting it back in, we have done before. Saw that in a previous video, or a couple previous videos. But not pulling it out, and the only reason is we're not taking the 42 up on the barn. All right, well, we're in the 42. We got her fired up. We swapped out that ground cable on the right battery. And there definitely must be a little bit of an electrical draw in this system somewhere, because it was dead. Definitely a few things that we need to look into. We do need to change the tie rod ends. Those are one thing. The electrical, we already got the steps to swap that out. All right, bucking plate's already on, and we're gonna hook up to the grinder and get this guy out of here. All right, we're grinding. And we're grinding with 42. So I ran into another little hiccup with it. They had converted it to the ISO, or we always call them the Pioneer tips. So the non-John Deere ones. So we had to swap out the tips on the grinder. Not a huge deal, just another thing we had to do. So this is the first job for the 42 for us. We still really got to do some stuff to it, but all right, we're on to our second batch. It's definitely taking a little bit to get used to running the 42. I think it's kind of like anything else. It's a used piece of equipment, so it's going to take a little bit to build that trust and get used to the way that thing works. And also until we go through it and we know that we've kind of covered all of our technical bases. All right, another grinding in the books. First grinding with the 42. Seemed to go okay. We'll get used to it. And hopefully by the next time we do it, we work out a couple of the bugs and stuff like that, because obviously there's a couple of bugs. So let's get this down to the shop. All right, we played with our toys, now we got to clean up and put them away. So Dad's gonna grab the Mahindra with the wagon, get these wires set up and everything, because we got to feed anyways. So the bale we grabbed for the cows, the next in line, I think is one of those bales that they're not totally crazy about. This one actually did seem a little nicer. It does have quite a bit of that, like either reed canary or marsh grass. I think it's reed canary, but which that stuff makes really good hay, or it's even better for grazing. But if you bale it for hay when it's a little old, it gets a little stemmy. It's a little more like straw and not as palatable. All right, ran into a small little issue and I gotta see what she did. The heck did she do? She hit that just right. Little Nala's in the back loafing shed area. So I don't know if she popped the chain or something. Should grab a couple of new chains just in case. Well, it looks like somehow she unsnapped it. I don't know how. Just rubbing on it, I'm sure she hit it just right. So if you remember how we do this, we've got this wooden frame of 2x6s that spans opening to opening, and then we've got this old panel. So we just kind of sandwich them together. We got a couple of chains. I think when I clipped it last, the clip was right here. So if she was rubbing on it just right, she got it. So I spun it down to here. So I know she's not going to be able to touch it. So, and she went right back in. No issues. I got all this bedding That was kind of piled up here. It was about a foot thick in this one spot. And that, I put a little bit in this pen, pen 1, pen 2, 3, and 4 in the back. But I did have a couple of questions when I posted this last one. One, was it red? And it was kind of hard to see truly like how much chrome she actually has. So if anybody's looking for a purebred Fleck imposter, we got another one. I mean, come on. The color, just like Dad. The face, just like Dad. So you got really nice goggles. I mean, in shape and everything. So I'll continue to say that if we have a red cow, I want her to be Fleck, you know, going forward. Because, I don't know, I kind of like playing around with those Fleck genetics, and they're nice. I've always liked, and Dad's always liked the red and white ones. That's why we started with them. I always do like the fact that you never know what's coming out. You don't know if it's solid red, you don't know if it's chromed up, any of that. You don't know the markings. Hey, good morning. All right, in the shop we start. It's a little brisk outside, even though it's supposed to overall be a decent day, but we kind of got all of our outside stuff done yesterday. And today we want to definitely spend some time working on these two tractors, whether it's finishing up the 29, which is, while after I make a fire, I'm going to start getting oil in this thing and swapping the filter out. It's already drained out, ready to go. But then on the 42, I think we're going to probably put the steps on, because we have that. The steps that are on there they are all kind of bent up a little bit, and it sucks getting out of. And I think the steps we got are a little higher quality, a little bit beefier. That's kind of the goal for today, is kind of working on these tractors, trying to finish up 29 with what we want to do. Then we get a nice sunny day, we can maybe take some pictures of it and get it posted. And all right, so we got the heater going. I forgot Dad's gonna do a little bit of work on a light in the back, one of those like the rear lights that shines over your hitch kind of thing. So he's gonna finish working on that, and then I'm gonna swap out the oil filter and start filling this guy back up. All right, so we got oil full. Just have to fire it up. Got the grills back on the side. Those weren't on, not a big deal. Cleaned them off a little bit. Almost forgot. Need to empty this guy out. There's a lot of garbage in there. Got to clean that cover off a little bit. So this guy is basically ready to go. We want to put it outside anyways, so that we can paint the stuff for the 42 battery box. Got a used top, most of the box, and then this piece is new. So they had, well, the official John Deere paint, but this needs painted, and then I found some more paint, so we might paint on that as well, just since it's used. So, and then the stairs, and then the steps as well. All right, so we are gonna take a little lunch anyways, but I'm gonna be able to give Bethany a little bit of grief, because basically right out from the porch window, Phantom just dropped a calf. So it's a little breezy today, but it's really not bad, and we will get them in later. I just want to go see what it is. Looks like she had another red calf. Didn't you, Mama? You had another red one, huh? Oh, I left one on. Shit. All right. So Dad said, let's try and bring her in. We're going to do it a little bit different than we normally do. I'm still going to do the sled when we have animals out there. But we're actually going to bring it right in front of the green feeders. Phantom's a pretty chill cow. So I don't think we'll have any problems with her trying to like walk away or something. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right, so we got him in. I went like 5 feet and thing tipped over. It's just an ice fishing sled, so it doesn't really have high sides on it. But after that, then he kind of just laid there. So he's out of the wind now. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this hay so that he has some fresh bedding around him. This was bedded all really nice last night. Obviously she's dirty because, well, it's dirty out there, and that's just the way it goes. But don't think we'll have to do anything to him. Like I said, Phantom's a really good mom. Anytime I get a chance to AI her, I do. I was really hoping she stuck this year because I think Gibbs Essential on her. So I think that would have been a really neat combo. Yeah, another bull calf. Another bull calf, solid body. He's got a little bit, I think it's hard to see, and actually now that I look at him, he honestly looks, I thought there was some white on his forehead, but that might have just been the sun not shining off his dome. And now that I look at him now, yeah, he's solid red. She is hetero black. We've known that the whole time. She's a sheer force out of a red cow. So she's definitely hetero, especially being out of the red cow. That does it. But sheer force too is a hetero black bull. So you potentially get hetero black animals out of that anyways. So came in the shop and I'm like, man, it's really warm. Must really have that fire going. Well, we left the diesel heater running too. So, but this is what we got. So this is a battery box for the 42. It is a used one, obviously. So we've been wire wheeling it, cleaning it up to the point now where I can start wiping it down. Dad had already wire wheeled off the top / step. It's kind of a combo piece. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna start doing, is just start wiping them down, and then we'll probably find a spot and we'll hang it from the rafters or something, and then we'll paint them up. So it's prime first. Unfortunately, we don't have any of that the Rust-Oleum turbo can stuff that we were using the last time. We really liked that when we used that on the trailer. This stuff is fine, it's just regular primer, but that Ultimate Bond stuff has a lot faster dry time. So we got this stuff wiped down, and we're gonna hit it with a little bit of primer, and then we'll come back on Tuesday and paint them up because we won't have time tomorrow. All right, those parts are primed and hanging, and Tuesday we will paint them up. I actually have and I have to do some online stuff tonight. I actually have a CPR recertification class that I have to take for coaching, because all coaches need to be certified. So here's that guy from earlier. It looks like he was sucking. He's a good sized guy. He's got a lot of leg. I'm not sure where he gets that from. And for whatever reason, Phantom really didn't clean him off that well, but I don't know if she's just getting lazy in her old age, but if you remember a few videos ago, I found that T-post by the feeder. I found the other part of it. It was in the bottom of that feeder. So Dad's comment was, that's scary, because it went through the baler. The baler runs fine. It ran fine when we ended, when we finished up. So, man, I don't know how that got in there. I'm just thankful it didn't wreck anything. All right, it is a heavy bedding day today. Calves got a bale. Their area is beyond nuts. There's just so much moisture, and it only goes so far. All right, it is water time. So 313 and 431 got moved into the back pen. So these girls are much more tolerable. They're younger, so it's a little bit to be expected. Second calver and third calver. Actually, out of this True Justice, the bull calf out of factor, 94 pounds. So kudos to her on spitting that dude out. Be interesting to see what she does next year. 301, the one that we pulled in here this morning, he was walking around sucking or whatever, but I don't know if he's just really tired or what, but he is like zonked out. We gave him a Bolshe shot, and we gave him his optimizer already. So I actually wasn't really crazy about how little Phantom had cleaned off her calf. So what we've done in the past is I just dumped a bunch of grain on him. And typically we would do that, like, especially like with heifers that are kind of like, okay, I did this, now what? You know, to entice them to lick on the calf and help clean it off and stuff. Alrighty, I'm gonna try and wrap this up pretty quick. Because one, I don't know how much space left on my SD card, and two, we're running low on battery. Hopefully we can get through tomorrow. I don't even know if I'm gonna record anything, because I'm gonna come home and it's gonna be feed, and I gotta get across town because the class is at Wausau East. It's not at Wausau West, which is usually where it is. But I think the reason that is because the guys that used to teach it were West teachers, and I think the ones that do it now are East teachers. So I gotta go over there. I've technically never been in that building, and it's been up since like 2000 or something, like early 2000s. And I've never been in the building. Been to the facility, but never been in the building, which is fine. So I hope you guys liked the video. Please, on your way out, smash that like button. And if you got any questions, leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Help support us here at Ohrmundt Simmentals. And as always, thanks for coming along.